Hello and welcome to this video where we're going to compare conventional healthcare versus holistic healthcare. If you are a follower of my channel, you probably already know what side I lean towards. However, it's not so black and white as just choosing one over the other because they both have their pros and cons. And so I'm going to talk about them in this video. So you might have asked yourself, which is better, holistic healthcare or conventional healthcare? Is one really better than the other? As you'll learn, this is not really the correct question to ask because, like I said, it's not that black and white. There's a lot of factors that go into these and a lot of personal choices to be made and a lot of things to think about before choosing one over the other. And also, it depends on the situation. Sometimes you may want holistic healthcare, and sometimes conventional healthcare is the choice that you should take. So, I'm going to sum a lot of this up in this next slide. You can increase your chances of better health if you start to live a holistic lifestyle while you are still healthy. So, what is a holistic lifestyle? If you're not a follower of this channel yet, I'm going to give you a quick crash course on what I'm all about. Body, mind, and the spirit, or sometimes called the soul, or both actually, is what makes up holistic health. And what these are is a way to look at the human as a whole, as an interconnected thing that needs to be balanced in all three areas, and all three areas affect each other. When you go to the doctor, a conventional doctor, they're not going to ask you any questions about spirituality or is your soul fulfilled or, things like that. So I really believe that, I mean, obviously, since this is what my business is about, I really believe that holistic health is I kind of I don't really want to say better choice because like I said that's very nuanced. Um, I would say that it's a choice that you should make no matter what for most things because we need our body, mind, and soul to be in a line with each other and natural. That's the point of holistic health too, other than the fact that you're treating the whole person, but you're treating the person naturally with things that are either in nature or things that cause no harm to the body. Um, a lot of times, if not all times, prescription drugs will cause harm to the body, and that's usually the number one reason why people turn to holistic health. Modern healthcare is the best choice for an emergency situation in every case. Only use natural remedies and alternative healing modalities for chronic or acute issues that are not life-threatening. And this slide sums it up as well. So if you're going to take anything away from this video, remember this. Modern healthcare, which is conventional, traditional healthcare, is the best choice for emergency situations. Obviously, you're not going to go to your kitchen and look for an herb if you just broke your arm or something like that. So that is something important to remember. And it's also common sense, but I just had to say it because a lot of people, when they think of holistic health, they think, well, that's not going to treat my cancer, so that's why I make this distinction. And another thing I wanted to mention is conventional healthcare focuses on fads and fad diets a lot. And a lot of times, those things are just as misleading as some other false information out there. And I want to also say that it's not that fad diets are wrong, it's just that they're not looking at it holistically. These fad diets, that's what the word fad is. It's just another word for a new trendy shiny object that everybody has to check out, and these things are not based in longevity. So moving on to the next slide, I want to talk about diabetes a bit, and also diabetes is in the same category as other things like cancer and other serious illnesses. Now these are things that, number one, should be treated with whatever's going to save your life. If you have stage 3 or 4 cancer or if your diabetes is really bad and you don't want to suffer any of the typical consequences like, amputations or really, really serious other things, then those are the situations where I say, sure, go to your doctor, get put on anything that is going to help you right now with your quality of life. And I'm going to speak more on quality of life later as well as that pertains to holistic health. But for this particular slide, I wanted to particularly mention diabetes and things like cancer because these are serious things that not everybody is going to respond to when treated with things like herbs. Everybody is different, and I would never recommend somebody to just do things like herbs when it comes to diabetes, when it comes to cancer. So that might be a way, one of the ways that I differ from other holistic health educators, because a lot of them will say just to do only natural things. And trust me, in a perfect world, I would always prefer natural things. And this is why I'm such an advocate for the holistic lifestyle as a lifestyle, not as a last minute, like, oh no, what am I going to do now? You know, because that's when it's too late, or it can be too late. So I think that building a lifestyle around holistic health practices is the best way to go because it focuses on prevention. And also, this next slide here kind of goes into what I was just about to say too. When it comes to experts, when it comes to anybody that's talking about holistic health, whether or not they went to, an expensive college and got a degree, that's not really, I mean, I would trust that person for sure. You can go to them and take their word for anything, really. But when it comes to being an expert, it's really just, well, I'm going to make myself sound bad right now because I've actually never gone to college, but I have taken multiple holistic health courses and natural health courses online. And what I've learned is that the people out there that are experts, they can dive deeper into a specific subject and they know more of the medical terms when it comes to those things. But overall, when it comes to the knowledge, especially for me, I just talk about simple, easy, inexpensive lifestyle changes. And these are just bits of knowledge. And so I don't believe that it's 100% um, what's the word I'm thinking of? I don't think that you have to do that 100% go to a doctor if you're trying to just change your lifestyle. So when it comes to expertise, don't count somebody off just because they haven't gone to a college, because when it comes to holistic health, it's really a lot of it is not even physical. A lot of it is spiritual and mental. And yes, mental health is also a subject where I would totally trust a psychologist over someone that's just read a bunch of books. But when it comes to holistic health in general, I don't think that you have to spend a lot of money on learning this information that can change your life. And that's another reason why I started my business, was to help people with these things that are free. I'm all about saving money myself and for people that need this help but can't afford it. And if you have if you work from home or if you don't have health insurance, you have probably found that you can't just go to a holistic health doctor and have your insurance cover it, or at least, be able to afford it because it's so expensive. I think it's a couple $100s sometimes just to get a consultation. And so I think that it's worth mentioning that if you are healthy right now, you don't need to spend a lot of money on these expensive doctors when holistic education is widely available. I've even got a course. Um, I'm not sure what the cost is right now, but it's for sure under $70, and it kind of covers the basics of physical, mental, and spiritual health that are easy inexpensive and for almost anyone to do, and they're natural. And I'll leave a link for that down into the description. But as far as that goes, like I said, you don't need to go to a holistic health expert if you can't afford it, if you are not suffering from something serious like cancer or something like that. So you can take a lot of herbs and spices, and then of course fruits and vegetables are the two things that most diets will agree on. When it comes to diets, I mentioned fad diets earlier. Almost all of them do say that you should take herbs, spices, fruits, and vegetables. And I've been doing this studying for years. Even before I started my business, I've been studying health. And this is what I've learned. These four subjects here are, when it comes to ingesting things, actually, of course there's lots of other things to it, but when it comes to eating, if you use herbs and spices, if you eat a lot of fruits and vegetables, which are whole foods, and whole foods is basically anything that's not processed, then your health will be better automatically just for that. One of the best natural medicines that you can use is herbal tea. And this is something that goes along with what I mentioned earlier about herbs and spices. They come from nature, so they are natural, obviously, but they're also inexpensive if you do them correctly. Now, I used a bad picture here. I found a picture of tea, but honestly, this kind of tea is not the best tea. The tea that comes in these little tiny tea bags, there's many reasons why this is not the ideal tea, because for one thing, it's not quality. They make these teas with this, it sounds so horrible, but it's true if you Google it. I don't even know what you would Google actually. I heard this from um, another YouTube channel that they take the sprinkles and the parts that are just laying around on the floor after they process the tea and they sweep it up, and that's what they put in these packets along with some of the good stuff. This is the junk tea. And so, what is the solution? The solution is to buy whole herb teas, whole leaf teas. And you can get these. My favorite place is Mountain Rose Herbs. I'll leave a link to that down in the description because when it comes to tea, that's like I said, it's one of the best natural medicines, but don't do these little packets. Don't do tea in a bottle that's got sugar added to it. Use whole leaf tea and organic tea. That is why Mountain Rose Herbs is so amazing because they source their tea from places that have the best practices when it comes to organic and natural and healthy practices, and it's just amazing. So I will leave a link to that down in the description. So to sum up this video, conventional healthcare is good in emergencies. It's good for when you have cancer. It's good for when you have serious diseases. Holistic healthcare is good for prevention. It's good for maintenance. It's good to improve the quality of life. Now, this last little bit I wanted to elaborate a little more on. If you do have cancer, if you do have a serious disease, you can also do holistic healthcare practices in addition to your conventional stuff. So let's say you have cancer or a really serious disease, and let's say you're on um, prescription drugs and you are going through chemo and radiation and those sorts of things. You can also do the things that are helpful for prevention and maintenance and quality of life because these things are natural and they are safe. Now, I will say that there's a lot of things out there. Well, I shouldn't say a lot. There are some things out there that don't go well with these other healing modalities. If you are on something for chemotherapy, for example, you should ask your doctor which natural things can go with that. You can also um, ask a holistic doctor these questions. Which herbs are safe for people that have cancer or have a serious disease? Now that's when it comes to things that you ingest, like herbs and spices. Most of the time, those things are going to be good. You're probably not going to have any problem, but there's going to be some contraindications where you should always check just to make sure. And fruits and vegetables are usually always good too for anyone that's, even if you are on prescriptions. And as far as spiritual things, yes, 100%. Any spiritual thing that is a holistic lifestyle tip that I give, 100% recommended to do that in any situation. Um, Also mental, because mental health, with the exception of some mental health drugs, I know there's a lot of pharmaceutical drugs such as Xanax, or I don't even remember what they all are. But basically, those things, of course, ask first. But again, I will say the things that I talk about on my channel and in my website and in my course are 99% of them are things that you can just do lifestyle changes. They are natural, they are safe, and they can go along with any health issue at all. So the only area that you really need to worry about is things that you put into your body, such as herbs, spices, fruits, and vegetables. But 99% of the time, those things are going to be safe in any of these situations. So, to sum that up, I know I kind of went off on a little tangent there, but basically, if you're wondering which one to pick, conventional or holistic, you can do both in most situations, but also do conventional if it's an emergency, if you're going through cancer, or if you have a serious disease where you don't want it to get worse and this is a personal choice thing. I'm not going to tell anybody that you should 100% do holistic health care because that's not my place to make that choice for them. But it is, I do feel like it's my duty to inform them that you can improve the quality of your life, you can maintain health if you already are healthy, and you can prevent many chronic illnesses by living a holistic lifestyle. And that is what my message is all about. So if that sounds good to you, be sure to subscribe to this channel for more videos on holistic health. Be sure to like this video if you get any benefit out of this. And if you know anybody that is struggling with this question of whether or not they should go holistic or conventional, send this video to them and it can shed some light on how they can make their decision. So thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you again in the next video.